All right, guys, well, let's recap the month of May and talk about how I did and what reading goals I failed.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey guys, welcome back, fantasy fans. It's Dan here with TreeBeard Book Reviews. As you can see, I'm in a different setting. Well, it's still the same place, but it's a little bit different. As you guys know, I am moving, so my house is kind of just feels like I'm living in a hotel right now. It doesn't feel the same. It's been staged, and I can actually give you guys the good news that my house has been sold and I have bought a new house. So I will be moving finally in I think the first week of August now. So a lot of things happening. As you guys can see, I have a little shelf. I could finally bring that up to like my office space up here so that I can at least have some books, because it was so weird just having no books in my house. They're all literally boxed up in my garage. I'll put a picture here. I have 33 boxes of books in my garage. It's a lot of books. Well, and this is between me and my wife. It's not just me. We both really love books. So hopefully we'll have a nice big place. Well, we will have a spot in our new house where we can have a little bit of a library. So yeah, as you can see, I've made sure I kept my Wheel of Time Juniper books sleeve safe, because I don't want to lose those in the move. So I've been like sleeping with them beside my bed, because if I lose those, I'll be so upset. So these are my little bookshelf behind me. I'm going to talk about what happened in May. So guys, if you like the channel, thank you guys for subscribing and being part of the channel. I do have a Patreon. If you want to become a patron, you can support me on Patreon. And like I said, in the month of June, we're doing a buddy read from a patron pick. So it's pretty fun. So why don't we talk about some of the books I read in the month of May? So of all the crazy things that kind of went on, May was actually not a bad month. I read 6 books. I only missed 1 book on my TBR that I had planned. I'll talk about that. It was mainly just because one book took me so long to read, just because I was moving. I was like packing up my whole house. It was crazy. I didn't realize the amount. I should have realized the amount of work it was going to be. When you live in a house, you just fill it full of stuff, and you just realize, like, wow, I have so much stuff that I probably do not need in my house. So anyways, let's get on with the first book I read. So the first book I read this month was The Fall of Hyperion. I did that on audiobook as an audiobook listen. There is a review on the channel for The Fall of Hyperion. I give my full thoughts of the whole series, the first duology, and what I thought. I did enjoy it. It was a really good listen. It was very different from Hyperion. It was a totally different read, or a different audiobook experience, because it wasn't a full cast audio. So I do have my full thoughts on that in that review. I would recommend, if you've read Hyperion, watch that review, because there is spoilers and it's a full kind of breakdown of the whole book. All right, so the next book I read after The Fall of Hyperion was Stormfront by Jim Butcher, the first book in the Dresden Files. Really enjoyed it. It was a quick read. Again, there is a review for that on the channel. So it's a spoiler-free review. Just kind of go through my full thoughts and why I liked the book. I thought it was great. So some good books this month already. Fall of Hyperion, Stormfront. As you guys can see on my little shelf here. So everything on this shelf is probably what I'm going to read for the next 3 months. I got everything out just to be safe, because I didn't know how long it was going to take my house to be sold, and I didn't know how long it was going to take for the closing, for when I was going to move. So I'm like, I'll just keep out the next 4 months worth of books, just to be safe, because who knows what's going to happen. So yeah, so the next one was Stormfront. Really enjoyed it. It was such a fun read, and I cannot wait to read more of the Dresden Files. And I'm just kicking myself now that I haven't read them before, and it's just, darn it. But everyone keeps telling me that I should just switch and do the audio version, because the audio version is so much better, and the narrator for Harry Dresden is he's Harry Dresden. So I am contemplating that. I have kind of designated my audiobook reads for the year, so we'll see. I might do a rejig, but yeah, so Stormfront, fantastic. All right, guys, so the next book I read that took up the majority of my time was The Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. It's a big book. It mainly took me so long just because I was having to move and pack all the time. So I'd read 40 pages here, have to go help my wife move, and we're just packing stuff. So I think it took me 15 days to read. So I really spread it over a long period of time. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was such an enjoyable read. this was such a different experience from reading Assassin's Apprentice, and it really kind of changed my opinion on the series in general. So I'm looking forward to reading Assassin's Quest. So I do actually have some like fun thing about Assassin's Quest is I had a subscriber on the channel buy me the 25 year anniversary edition off of my my wish list, my Amazon wish list. So thank you so much for purchasing that. Again, I put the wish list up just to show you what I'm interested in buying. You're not obligated to buy anything off there for me, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's absolutely gorgeous. The only problem is I have this now, and I want to look through the illustrations so bad, and I can't. It's irking me that I can't, but I will eventually get to it. So thank you so much. I will have a full review of Royal Assassin on the channel. It's probably going to be coming out in the next like couple weeks. As you guys know, I've transitioned my channel back down to two videos a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays, just, you know, while I'm getting the move in order, because it should be crazy. So yeah, Royal Assassin, I'm not going to spoil my review, so just wait for that. So then I cracked on with another audiobook, and it's a series I have reread. This will be number 18. I believe it's the 18th time I've reread this book, and that is The Lord of the Rings. And I've been doing the Audible listen, like narrated by Andy Serkis, and it's really good. But there is something in the Fellowship, and I'll probably talk. I'm gonna do a full review of all the audiobooks. You know, just talking about all three books. You know, A Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Just gonna talk about them all because there's one character he voiced in this book that didn't ruin it for me, but it really threw me off and I didn't enjoy it. But other than that, the Audible listen was fantastic. So just wait for my big review of that. It probably won't be now till like August when I be doing that, because I'm just planning to do them each month. So like I'm gonna be listening to Two Towers now in the month of June. So just wait for that, guys. So yeah, it was interesting. I'm really glad I listened to it. It's the first time I've listened to the Andy Serkis audiobooks. I've either, you know, done a physical read or listened to the audiobooks by Rob Inglis, and those are very good too. So yeah, anyways, I won't talk anymore about that. But yeah, Lord of the Rings and Fellowship, it's just I've read it so many times. It's such a cozy read. Like I can slip into Middle Earth so fast now. You know, I've read it so many times, and maybe sometimes I kind of felt myself wandering a little bit in my mind, because I'm like, I know what's gonna happen next, like really well. So yeah, it was really enjoyable though. I really enjoyed that read. Hey guys, it's editing Dan here again. I seem to be doing this a lot. I hope I don't need to keep making this recurring thing. I knew I would miss a book. I did have a little list in front of me too, so I failed on an epic level. So the book I missed was Weird Sisters. I did the new audiobook version with like Indira Varma, Bill Nighy, and Peter Serafinowicz, and it was really good, but it was also like very different. I do have a not a full review, but I talk about it in my my more Discworld news video. So you know, check that out if you want to see what my full thoughts are. I've just really kind of come to realize that Weird Sisters really isn't my my favorite Discworld book. It's probably one of my lower ranked Discworld books now. I do plan to do a full ranking of Discworld eventually, so that video is going to take forever, and it'd probably be a year off or so, at the rate in which I'm reading Discworld, because I'm reading one a month. So, anyways, we'll go from one boring setting back to another boring setting. So, thank you. All right, and the last book I read in the month of May, to round it out, was Masquerade by Terry Pratchett, and I cannot wait to review this book, as this book was so much fun. It's another witches book. I absolutely love the witches. The witches are so funny. I don't think they were as funny as they usually were in this book, but they were like still on form. There's a new witch that you meet, and it's such a good fun book. And I'm glad I read it. Like that, like I said, those Discworld books at the end of the month are really my palate cleanser. They just help me detox from the rest of like the big serious books. You know, Royal Assassin is a really kind of heavy story. Robin Hobb really just beats you over the head with it, like some of the misery. So she's kind of like George R. R. Martin a little bit. She just likes to pummel you with sadness. So yeah, so you know, ending the month with a Discworld book is fantastic, and I just had so much fun with it. And you know, Terry Pratchett's my favorite author, so just rounding out the month with Terry is always so much fun. So let's talk about the book I didn't get to, and that book was Old Man's War by John Scalzi. Again, I spent so much time on Royal Assassin, even though I enjoyed my read with it. I wish I could have got to this month. It's such a short book, and I just might put it on the shelf here. And if I read anything quick, maybe I'll pick it up. June, as you guys have seen in my June TBR video, I put myself a light month, just because, dealing with this whole move stuff, it's been pretty hectic. I'm finally gonna have my house back a little bit for the next 2 months until I move, and it's not gonna be as hectic. But then I'm also defending my master's, so I have submitted my rough draft for that. Got some feedback, good to go. So I just got to do some final polishing, and then we'll be off to the races with that. So yeah, so May was such a good month, especially because April seemed like a bit of a downer month in terms of what I read. Like I'll show my April recap video there. April I was a miss, and this was not a miss. This is a great month. Like May was such a fantastic month, even though I didn't feel like I read a lot of books. I still achieved reading goals of 6 books, 2 books or a book a week and plus some. So yeah, it was such a fantastic month. So cannot wait for June. June's a little bit lighter, but that's what it is. So comment down below, let me know what you read in the month of May. What was your favorite book that you read, or did you read any of the books that I read? So as always, guys, thank you guys so much. Again, sorry for the backdrop. This is what it's gonna be for the next couple of weeks until I moved. I still got my sleeves are there. They're still there, kind of. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.